You know that I'm smoking dope, I'll be hot till next week. No, I had to let her go, cause she can't arrest me. Walk out with my toolie, what he do?
Let's go.
Lil Uzi Vert was undeniably one of the pioneers of the SoundCloud era, a whole movement that shifted the cultural fabric of hip-hop and rewrote the rules for how an artist could rise, evolve, and dominate. And after dropping Eternal Atake 2 in 2024, a project that everyone from hardcore fans to casual listeners and even the haters unanimously crowned as album of the year, Uzi looked like he was finally reclaiming the throne. Then, like a bat signal for every OG fan, he linked up with Playboi Carti again on Music, where he rapped about his balls, and in doing so, absolutely demolished the washed allegations that had been floating around. A power move. Shortly after, hundreds of tracks got leaked from years of Lil Uzi Vert's recordings. A vault cracked wide open. Besides Drake, Uzi has the best leaks in hip-hop right now. These aren't just throwaways or experimental leftovers. Well, some of them are, obviously. Some of these could have easily been album cuts, even singles. It's a flex. It's pretty well known in the Lil Uzi Vert community that Uzi has a pretty bad song selection problem. His two most popular songs, and maybe not technically his streams or whatever, but definitely his two biggest moments in hip-hop history, xotourlife and Just Wanna Rock, just kind of released as throwaways, or he didn't even want to release them.
Lil Uzi Vert could honestly drop a classic album anytime he wants, full of hits from his vault that he's already made. But instead, time after time, we get albums full of mid, such as Eternal Atake 2. Today, Uzi's horrendous song selection in choosing what to release has significantly held back his superstar potential. These leaks currently prove that Uzi isn't as washed as people say. He just can't pick a hit to save his career. In fact, if you needed any more proof of his song selection struggles, literally two of the most popular songs of Uzi's career, both xotourlife and Just Wanna Rock, were two songs he never even planned on officially releasing. At first, Uzi thought his now 14-time platinum smash, xotourlife, was just a throwaway, and only put it out on SoundCloud as part of this random EP, before it obviously blew up. However, in the case though of Just Wanna Rock, if it weren't for this snippet going viral all over TikTok, and then starting a new dance trend, Uzi would have likely never released it.
When it comes to choosing good songs, Uzi is terrible, bro. If Uzi was a Pokemon trainer, he would be the worst Pokemon trainer in the world, cause he can't choose a good song for shit.
Ash Ketchum is overrated, but his outfit is underrated.
All of this shows that Uzi's talent isn't a question. The music isn't the issue. His pen is still sharp, or as sharp as Uzi's pen can be. The flows are still innovative. The melodies are still catchy. The sauce still present. But even though the skill is intact, the music he's been officially putting out hasn't been hitting the same. At least not in the way it needs in order to silence the doubters. And yet, Carti's album is the biggest thing out right now. Undeniably a cultural moment. So obviously that gives me an excuse to push my Uzi agenda with full force. But first, we have to backpedal a bit to see what's really up with the two, their history, and what they mean to the era. Samir by Woods, born on July 31st, 1995, is better known by their stage name, Lil Uzi Vert. They are an American rapper, singer, and songwriter who became one of the most influential artists of the generation. Born and raised in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Lil Uzi Vert developed a love for music at a young age and began pursuing it seriously during their teenage years. Uzi started off releasing music independently on SoundCloud, dropping songs regularly and slowly building a fan base. Early in their career, they were part of a rap group called Staketown, though the group eventually dissolved. Even in these early stages, Uzi's potential was clear. Their Purple Thoughts EP showed signs of what their melodic sounds would later evolve into. Melodic, emotionally, and heavily influenced by artists like Young Thug and Lil Wayne.
On top of me, jocking me, sucking me properly, actually sucking me sloppily. 50 and hundreds, my wrist be bumping. Got so much damn money, I start speaking dropping these lettuce and broccoli. Bread with a lot of cheese. Honestly, none of you niggas is hot as me. Honestly, none of you niggas is hot as me. Bitches on my dick and they just be jocking me. Codeine and promethazine, that's the dietary. It's a lot of demons always inside of me.
At least in the vocal inflections part. Uzi definitely brought a lot of creativity to the table. In August 2014, they released another early project called The Real Uzi, but it would be their next few releases that truly pushed them into the spotlight.
Like, I don't know none. Yeah, I'm gonna lean, drink, promethazine, nigga, I don't know none. Like, I don't know none. I don't know none.
In 2015, Lil Uzi dropped their breakout commercial mixtape titled Love Is Rage. This project was a turning point, alongside being featured on Slime Season 2 by Young Thug, helping Uzi gain significant attention in the hip-hop world. Thanks to the buzz created around this mixtape, they landed a record deal with Atlantic Records, signing through DJ Drama's Generation Now imprint. One of the standout tracks from Love Is Rage was 7 AM, which performed well on the charts. It spent 10 weeks on the bubbling under R&B/hip-hop singles chart and peaked at number 5 as of August 6, 2016. But Uzi's true breakout moment came in 2016 with the release of the mixtape Lil Uzi Vert vs. the World. This project landed them into the mainstream. It peaked at number 37 on the US Billboard 200 and stayed on the chart for an impressive 55 weeks, showing just how popular and how much replay value it had. The mixtape also climbed to number 18 on the top R&B hip-hop's albums chart. Lil Uzi Vert vs. the World featured 3 major singles: Money Longer, P's and Q's, and You Was Right. Both Money Longer and You Was Right made it onto the Billboard Hot 100, marking Uzi's arrival on the national scene. These tracks weren't just popular, they were massive! Uzi kept the momentum going with their 4th mixtape, The Perfect Love Tape, released later in 2016. This project debuted at number 55 on the Billboard 200 and was supported by the songs like 7 Million and Erase Your Social. By February 2018, Uzi also teamed up with Atlanta rap legend Gucci Mane for a collaborative EP called 1017 vs. the World, which further showed Uzi's versatility and ability to show that he can hold his own against other big names in the mainstream. Then came one of his most defining moments of Uzi's career. In early 2017, they released an EP called Love Is Rage 1.5. This project included what would become their biggest hit ever, XOTourlife, following Uzi's breakup with Britney Bird. The song quickly took over the charts and the internet, known for its moody tone, emotional lyrics, and haunting hook.
This what you've been waiting for. Sing it word for word. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, sing.
I don't really care if you already should've never. Should've saw the way she looked me in my. She said, baby, I am not afraid.
It became an anthem for a generation and showed how powerful Uzi's music can be. And personally, I think a lot of the appeal from this song, this is one of those songs where you don't think if it's like, oh, this isn't even rap, because it's just a beautiful piece of art. XOTourlife peaked at number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100 and hit number 5 on the Hot R&B/hip-hop singles chart. Over time, it reached a legendary status and was certified diamond by the RAA, signifying over 14 million units in the US alone. This made it one of the best-selling singles in American music history. Later that year, Lil Uzi Vert released their long-awaited debut studio album, Love Is Rage 2, in August 2017. The album was a massive success. It debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, earning 135,000 album equivalent units in its first week. Of those, 2,800 were just pure album sales, meaning actual purchases of the album. I'm sorry if I sound mad. I've messed up so many takes, bro. And in the months that followed its release, it would pass over just 2 million units, cementing its place as Uzi's best album and also a big part of his career. And this is where we're gonna stop for now, as the rest is important later. Because around this time, another name was buzzing. Playboi Carti, born Jordan Terrell Carter, is an American rapper, singer, songwriter, and record producer from Atlanta, Georgia. Known for his unique voice, experimental approach, and fashion-forward style, Carti has become one of the most influential figures in modern hip-hop. His unconventional flow, airy and hypnotic production choices, and the ability to shift effortlessly between rapping and melodic vocal styles have helped him stand out in a crowded rap scene. Carti is often credited as the pioneer of the rage micro subgenre, a sub-style of trap music known for its distorted beats, aggressive energy, and punk-inspired aesthetic. Through the constant reinvention, Carti has pushed the boundaries of what trap music can sound like and what a rap star can look and act like. Before he was Playboi Carti, he rapped under the alias Sir Carti. During those early years, he began to develop his signature sound and aesthetic. He released a lot of self-produced and actually really kind of better than his current music mixtapes. This includes THC/The High Chronicles, Young Misfit, which is actually still fully on YouTube, and Sensation, as well as a bunch of other ones that got announced and never released, or albums that are just lost to time. These projects didn't receive much mainstream attention at the time, but they played a key role in shaping Carti's experimental direction and laid the foundation for his rise in the underground rap scene. It also shows that a lot of Carti's projects kind of sound similar to what he's doing now. He always had a vision for his sound, similar to Uzi. It wasn't until 2015 that Carti started to truly gain attention on a wider scale. That year, he released 2 viral songs on SoundCloud, Broke Boy and Fetty featuring Dash and Maxo Cream. These tracks exploded online and quickly built up a cult-like following around Carti. His delivery was laid back, his lyrics were minimal, and his beat selection was refreshingly left field, all of which made him stand out. The buzz surrounding those tracks led to Carti signing with Interscope Records in 2016 under ASAP Mob's AWGE imprint, a collective led by ASAP Rocky. This connection also helped boost Carti's visibility in the rap and fashion scenes. Carti's commercial breakthrough came in April 2017 with the release of his self-titled debut mixtape, Playboi Carti. The tape became a hit and debuted at number 12 on the US Billboard 200. It was powered by the success of the hit Magnolia, a track with a hypnotic beat and one of Carti's most iconic flows. Magnolia peaked at number 29 on the Billboard Hot 100 and was eventually certified triple platinum. Another big hit from the mixtape was Woke Up Like This, featuring Lil Uzi Vert, which also charted on the R&B/hip-hop songs chart. The chemistry between Carti and Uzi was undeniable, and the track became a fan favorite, further solidifying Carti's momentum in the rap world. Building on that momentum, Playboi Carti released his debut studio album called Die Lit in 2018. It's important to know that these albums weren't hated by any means, but they certainly weren't loved among everybody. Some people saw the vision
about his debut tape, or I thought that his XXL freshman cypher performance was really underwhelming, I still named Magnolia as one of my favorite singles of the year in my 50 favorite singles of 2017 video. And why? Why is that? Why did I do that? Not only is Magnolia an insanely infectious song, but also, to me at the time, it felt like the logical conclusion to everything trap had been trending toward for like the past 7 years. The hypnotic production, the ad-libs, the repetition, all culminating into this raw, euphoric, psychedelic energy. It just felt like the next step in this new wave of rap minimalism. And Die Lit is essentially an extension of that.
But he was kind of bordering on joke rapper and more of just the poster child since Lil Pump was no longer relevant. However, Die Lit was praised for having its forward-thinking and minimalist approach to trap music. Many fans and critics highlight the album's hypnotic production, unorthodox song structures, and Carti's almost punk-like energy. One of the standout tracks, Shoota, featuring Lil Uzi Vert, peaked at number 46 on the Billboard Hot 100. After Die Lit, Carti mostly disappeared from the public eye, entering what fans refer to as the 2-year hiatus. During this period, he remained silent on social media and didn't release any official new music, which he only added to the mystique surrounding him. Carti would occasionally tease fans with snippets or cryptic messages, but no album seemed to be coming until April 2020, where he finally dropped the surprise single titled At May. The track debuted at number 35 on the Billboard Hot 100. While it received mixed reactions, it signaled that Carti was officially back. Then in December 2020, Playboi Carti released his long-awaited and highly anticipated second studio album, Whole Lotta Red. The rollout was chaotic and mysterious, with Carti giving little information beforehand. When the album dropped on Christmas Day, it debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, selling 100K first week. This was Carti's first number 1 album, and despite the initial mixed reactions, it marked a major milestone in his career. Whole Lotta Red was unlike anything expected. It leaned heavily into punk aesthetics and featured distorted, aggressive beats with raw, unfiltered vocal deliveries. The album challenged listeners and divided opinions at first. Many fans were confused by the direction. Not really. But over time, the project gained a strong cult following. Go to the Moon featuring Kanye West drew a lot of attention, peaking at number 30 on the R&B songs chart. Another standout single, Sky, became a fan favorite and went viral on TikTok, eventually gaining massive acclaim. The Whole Lotta Red wasn't immediately embraced by everyone. It has been recognized as bold and influential work that pushed hip-hop into new territory. It confirmed that Carti wasn't just chasing trends, he was setting them. We'll have to come back to that later. But let's not sugarcoat it. The real reason why Uzi's perception has shifted, why he's fallen from grace in the public eye, isn't due to 1 or 2 flops or a couple of weak verses. It's deeper. It's layered. It really boils down to him, his own insecurity, his own second guessing. Fan base even reflects this. It's like the average Uzi fan talks about Carti more than they talk about Uzi himself. And yet, argue with a sync, Uzi has always been better. Technically, musically, culturally. Without Uzi, there is no Juice WRLD, there's no Trippie Redd, and there's no Mr. Fitpick. Uzi opened that door. He built that bridge. He was the blueprint. And if you don't believe me, Google any of these next to Uzi clone in YouTube, and like, if you look back at his career arc, the cracks started forming right after 2017. Love Is Rage 2 is, without a doubt, Uzi's best and most complete body of work. An album that hit every note from emotional depth to mainstream appeal. But his most popular album wouldn't arrive until 3 years later. Eternal Atake sold just under what Carti's Missing Father just sold. Why is that in the script? Just sold what Missing Father just sold. And that's the way, what? And that's what the way streaming has been growing over the last couple of years too. However, that's not Carti's fault, but let that sink in. The demand for Uzi was never the problem. The problem has always been his execution. Music sold what it did because of the wait, the anticipation. A strategy Vert himself has deployed many times. But the key difference, Uzi can't execute a rollout to save his life. Carti plays chess while Uzi fidgets with the board. Carti edges the album, starves the fans just enough, and builds an aura around it. People like what they hear about more than what they don't hear about, if that makes sense. Like if your friend has already put you onto someone and you hear them on a verse, you're probably gonna be more inclined to like the verse, you know? Carti sells an image, a fashion line in music form. The the cancellations, the cryptic teasers, the leaks that may be intentional. Is it intentional? Is it planned, or did he just get lucky? No, it's all intentional. He makes you talk. Everything he does makes you talk about him. The first thing I knew about Carti was that he lied about his album, and I think he knew he was getting more attention by delaying it and always starving it instead of just delaying it and never giving us a clue about it. Like I said, the first thing I ever heard about Carti was that he's a liar, and that was compelling enough to make me care. That's why I keep comparing the two so much. Even though Uzi has always been miles ahead in raw musical talent, Carti knows how to craft a narrative, how to weaponize mystery. Uzi has that same capability. He's proven it before, but he doubts himself too much. Every time he takes a risk, he immediately starts backpedaling. That's exactly why Pink Tape came and went despite Just Wanna Rock blowing up like a nuke. Instead of building on that momentum, Uzi swerved, changed up the aesthetic. Album has every style of Uzi you could ask for. Rage, melodic, bar heavy, experimental, but unless you're a D1 Uzi glazer like me, you're probably only gonna like a fourth of it. It felt like a mixtape of Lucy's, a portfolio instead of a statement. In the era where he needed to prove his consistency and redefine his identity, it sounded like a collection of drafts. And that may sound dramatic, but like, look at what people were saying before and after Pink Tape dropped.
The Pink Tape is one of hip-hop's most anticipated albums right now. Fans have waited around 3 years for a new project, and because of this, it has pretty high stakes for Uzi's career. This could either skyrocket Uzi to the top, solidifying himself as an A-list household superstar with artists like Drake and Travis, or it could truly be the start of the fall off of Uzi.
This isn't good right now. Kenyon Haynes said whole lot of red type album. Yeah, I could see that, because right now I think this shit's ass. And at first, not that I think it's ass. I'm not gonna say it's ass, but like, nigga, this isn't very good right now. I don't even want to finish this song.
Worse, he didn't stand on it. He denounced the album himself, canceled the tour, and pivoted into rolling out a completely different album. The message he sent, this doesn't matter. So why should fans think otherwise? Meanwhile, Carti dropped Whole Lotta Red, got clowned for a bit, and then basically went quiet, then went on tour, doubled down on the sound so at least he was confident in it, and made everyone listen again. Now it's regarded as one of the most influential albums that Carti's ever put out, or that anybody in recent history has ever put out. Even Uzi said he was jealous of Carti's sound one time. Style over substance, sure, but when style is what defines this class of artists, this 2016-2017 XXL freshman list, you gotta commit, and Uzi did it. The Pink Tape rollout was a mess. He'd go live at 3 in the morning, wild out for the hardcore fans, and then dip. I mean, there was a little bit of promotion, but no features teased, and there wasn't really even a clear vision. If he had even just sprinkled in some promos, some clips, some interviews beyond what he did, anything to make some casuals care the way he did in 2017 besides the little thing in his head, people might have just stayed locked in. Instead, the window closed, so all the hype from Just Wanna Rock. That's why people put Carti in the same breath as Travis and Future now. But Uzi's name barely comes up in those conversations. Carti sold the image. Uzi played it safe, dropped features and no one talks about because he refused to scare people with risks. He stuck to the generic. And every time he does experiment, I'm not gonna lie, it does feel kind of forced. I feel like people just kind of make or say they make experimental music just because it's ass. Same thing with abstract art. Sorry, side tangent. And now here we are. Love is Rage 3 is being called the final album, and let's be honest, it won't be the next one. It's becoming Uzi's version of J. Cole's Fall Off, a myth, a concept, and a burden. An album with insane expectations. The expectations are so big, they might even be unrealistic, and Uzi knows this, which is why he keeps delaying it. I think Uzi has definitely started Love is Rage 3, and I think there's probably some grails in there, but overall, I don't think we're gonna hear anything besides what he makes a week before the album comes out. If he does drop it soon, he needs to let that one breathe, because Love is Rage 1 and Love is Rage 2 are both generational albums, and Love is Rage 2 is like my favorite album of all time. It's one of the best of the 2010s, argue with Ace. I think he just needs to focus on something instead of throwing everything at the wall to see what's... Honestly, dude, I think Uzi's on the right track right now. I think this is kind of common for him, but as of right now, he hasn't gone on any Instagram live, so I think he's gonna disappear. And I think the winning method here is to go quiet long enough that people miss you, then come back with a feature that rattles the internet. That's Kendrick's blueprint. A couple other rappers did that. I know Kendrick didn't invent that, and it works. Or even just leak a fire tape, maybe another fire leak. Maybe just put all your leaks out on like YouTube or something, because that's how you got your 2 biggest songs. And then make a tour off of it. Make people remember the discography, or if not, at least the moment. If the energy's there, people will listen to the music. Let the music speak for itself again. Because the truth is, the last 2 albums weren't even bad. They were just mismanaged and undersupported. Like, have you heard how heavenly the original Eternal Atake was? Maybe he needs a feud, a rivalry. rivalry, something that forces people to pick a side. The sad reality is that because of his own self-doubt, botched marketing strategies, Uzi's music has become more hated than loved when the skill is right there in front of us. Maybe not right there in front of us, you gotta dig a little bit. But I fully expect from the next album, whether it's Forever Young, it's probably not gonna be that, Barter 16, or even Love Is Rage 3, to have a trash rollout and be disowned within a week. And that hurts, because based on everything he's done, everything he's shown, he should be up there with Travis Scott, easily. And the fact he's not says way more about the way the game treats artists like Uzi than it does about his actual talent or his ability to drop songs, because like I said, everyone has agreed he's bad at. Hello everybody, thank you for watching this far. I didn't really know where to put this, but it's important to note that Uzi backtracked on Eternal Atake, his highest selling album as well.
And the music is tolerable. It's not, oh my god, this is the music is definitely there. It's good production, but honestly, from Lil Uzi Vert, we expect a star, moon, spaceships, and the high above. We expect everything from him, because I'm already giving off this persona. I have a pink diamond in the middle of my head, yo. Everything is supposed to be going.
I also want to give some attention to the